Now, I want you to take a deep breath, especially if you get TDS. It's important that you hear me and have ears to hear and eyes to see what I'm about to show you. I'm going to show you the things that President Trump achieved during his administration and his 4 years that he was in office. Now, I know you're kind of like feeling like you want to run away. You got to walk away. Can't hear this. But trust me, if you battle that urge and you can listen to what I'm saying, you might realize that, oh, you know what? He did get a lot of good things done. This is not with bias. This is just fact of what's documented. It's so much that I'm just gonna run the pictures across with all the text. I'm gonna read some highlights on there, and then you're gonna make the decision whether I presented a good enough argument that he actually was a good president. Because a lot of people say, well, I like his personality, but they were paying less for gas. They had jobs. There were opportunity centers all over the lower income cities. Businesses were moving in. It goes on and on. The list is too long. I tried to find it like on Chrome and like Safari. I couldn't find anybody that didn't have an agenda on what he achieved. It was near impossible. So I looked at other routes, and I'm going to introduce this now. Let's show this first. This is Sebastian Gorka talking about the honesty, and I know this is going to trigger you most likely, not all of you. There's a lot of people that support the past president and future president, but here's Gorka speaking on video, talking about him keeping his word about moving the embassy to Jerusalem. And listen to this, it's pretty powerful.
23 years, every president from Clinton through Bush to Obama broke a promise to the world. We had told Israel that we would move the embassy to Jerusalem and recognize that capital. For 23 years, every president on both sides of the aisle reneged on that promise. President Trump said during his campaign, we're going to do it. When he finally called the National Security Council at principals level, not the bureaucrats, the cabinet members, he informed the cabinet members, I'm doing it now. Only 3 people who worked for him in the cabinet concurred. One of them, and for me this pains me because I spent 2.5 years at Quantico teaching the Marines. I love our devil dogs. The so-called Mad Dog Mattis of the Marine Corps said in front of the cabinet, sir, don't do that. Don't move the embassy. Don't recognize Jerusalem. You will trigger World War III. And I don't have enough Marines to defend our embassies. What did the commander-in-chief say to them? He said, Jim, we are doing it. Why? Because I promised the American people, number one. Number two, we as a nation 23 years ago promised the only democracy in the Middle East that we would do it. Oh, and lastly, Jim, it's the right thing to do. That is why we need him back, because to quote the Marines, when we were in the White House, our friends felt safe and our enemies were afraid. Thank you.
So that's pretty powerful. I mean, you can't argue that. He kept his word. He kept his word. And how many presidents before him, how many years did they promise something and didn't do it? He kept his word. And nothing went down like they were expecting it to go down. Everybody tried to put the fear of God in him, but he said, no, I'm going to keep my word. So here, let's go into the list of what he's done during his 4 years. And, I'll read a couple in the background, and then you can make the decision for yourself. Unprecedented economic boom. Delivered a future of greater promise and opportunity for citizens of all backgrounds. Brought jobs, factories, and industries back to the USA. Achieved a record-setting economic comeback by rejecting blanket lockdowns. 80% of small businesses are now open from just 53% in April. Tax relief for the middle class. I'm sure the middle class like that. Since the passage of tax cuts and share of total wealth held by the bottom of half of households, and increased many things. Massive deregulation, can't forget that. Ended the regulatory assault on American businesses and workers. Mobilized and National Environmental Policy Act, NEPA, for the first time in over 40 years, people, 40 years. Modernized the Department of Agriculture's biological regulations and put America in the lead to develop new technologies. Americans now have more money in their pockets. Deregulation, people, deregulation. And we're getting a little mellow here. Fair and reciprocal trade, secured historic trade deals that defend American workers. Negotiated other deals with Japan to boost $40 billion worth of digital trade. Hope you guys are liking the music. Took strong actions to confront unfair trade practices and put America first. MAGA, baby. MAGA. Historic support for American farmers. The farmers love Trump. Successfully negotiated more than 50 agreements with countries around the world. American energy independence. Remember that when we were energy independent, we weren't, paying like $4.50 a gallon. We were paying like $1.75. $1.75. You can't beat that. Increased access to our country's abundant natural resources in order to achieve energy independence, renewable energy production, and more. Investing in America's workers and families. Let's not forget affordable, high-quality childcare too. So what do you think? I mean, that's a heck of a lot of achievements. You really can't argue that, right? I hope that you have a little bit of a different perspective about the man that many of us want to see back in office and think it's important for him to be in there. I want to reach out to all of you on this channel, no matter what way you lean. I want to be able to have a conversation with you. I'm not looking for the echo chamber. I'm looking for true, honest-to-God communication that we all can learn from. Please like, share, subscribe, tell your friends and your Facebook friends that this channel exists and that we are out seeking the truth. We had a great live stream, first live stream after 2.5 years. Went up. It's if you go to live on the channel, you can see it. It was about an hour and 20 minutes. I couldn't believe it. I was like worried about speaking. Am I gonna have enough to say? And I'm like, so we had a good time online, and we're probably gonna do every Saturday. I'll announce it, but we're looking at every Saturday. The time hasn't been set during the day, but right now we're shooting for probably 10 a.m. Mountain Time. This is William Wieting signing off, reporting from Arizona at the moment. And thank you for watching. Thank you for staying through the whole video and being open to hearing good things about President Trump and why he should be reelected again. Thank you.